What would you do if you had $100,000 in your bank account? Would you buy a house? Would you pay off your debts? Would you go to 22 Taylor Swift concerts? What about spending it all to create an AI Valorant trainer? My name's Tim Young, and that's exactly what I decided to do. I'm an okay player. I've peaked diamond. I'm usually playing in plat. So I'm decent, but I'm not a good player. And I wish I could improve these mechanics that are core to winning gunfights. There's a lot of ways to win in this game, but the most glorious way is to just diff your opponents and shoot them in the head. And so the technique plays a big part of that. And so crosshair placement and peeking, and we know what really good players look like. But as we've all seen, you can watch a streamer and be like, oh, I could do that. I could play like that. And then you load into a game and you can't. And so what's the gap there? Well, I think the gap is we don't actually have a good way of understanding where you lack relative to a very good player's technique or an optimal technique. And we have no way of tracking how much you're improving over time. Like, you might have an idea that you're getting a little bit better in crosshair placement, but what if we could know exactly how much better you're getting? What if we could know exactly where you're lacking? Could we track your crosshair placement, your peaks, and your gunfight hygiene? And once this idea hit me, I couldn't get it out of my head. As I thought about it more and more, I wondered, is this technically feasible? Could you actually have a computer watch a game? Could it even see the game? And would the AI be able to figure out what's good or bad? I found a video of a guy who was able to program using an existing model to watch himself dribble a basketball and be able to count the amount of dribbles. That's when I was like, okay, surely if he can do this, if he can get just some random model and then have it watch his game and understand that he was dribbling a basketball, surely computer vision can handle Valorant. We can actually help people get better at this game with an AI tool. So I want Training Arc to fill that gap. And instead of giving you generic advice, Training Arc will give you drills and feedback tailored to your specific situation. That way you can actually know where your problems are and what you need to do to fix them. And as you try to fix them, the improvement's not going to come overnight. Nothing does. And that's why we want to track how you're improving over time, so that you can see the progress in something more tangible than just your RR. And that's the journey. We're never complete as humans, and certainly as players. And so that's why I named the product Training Arc. Every action movie has the training montage, and then the hero comes back stronger. And that's the goal with Training Arc. This is your training montage. And when you come out of it, you're going to hit different. I grew up just like you, Canadian chubby kid who looked shockingly like a young Kim Jong-un. I wasn't athletic, and so I had a hard time finding my place in the world. But when I was 11, everything changed. I started playing a game called Tribes. I discovered, one, that I was like decent at the game, and two, that this online grassroots community of competitive players existed. And once I got a taste of it, it was intoxicating. I thought it was edgy and cool. My name, this is so embarrassing. My name was like D-Storm because I thought like Desert Storm was cool, so I made it short. And I got accepted into this clan, and all of my teammates were university students. I'd be like, hey guys, I gotta go for dinner. Like, my mom is calling me down for dinner, and they're like, we're in a scrimmage, like you can't just go for dinner. And I'm like, no guys, you don't understand. Like, if I don't go to dinner, I will probably never see any of you again. I moved over to Counter-Strike, and I almost failed math because I was playing 5 hours of Counter-Strike a day. And then, real life hit, and I didn't play games for like a decade. I only got back into gaming because in the pandemic, my baby sister started playing, and I thought it was a way to connect with them again. And I chose Valorant because it has bright and pretty colors. When I got back in, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. It was like astonishing to me to see where things had gone. I played at a pretty hardcore level, but to come back to Valorant and see where the knowledge has come, it was incredible for me. There was this knowledge and theory around trading, that you trade out your teammates. The concept of crosshair placement and pre-aiming. That was like really astonishing for me coming back. And it was in that space that this Valorant life came about. All right, welcome to episode 4 of this Valorant life, episode 23, episode 37, episode 39, episode 51, episode 56 of this Valorant life. Thanks for joining us today. I don't make money from this Valorant life. We just recorded our 58th episode. So why do we spend like 60 plus hours talking to each other about something that doesn't actually monetarily benefit us? And it's because we think it's doing good for the community. We believe it's helping people grow their knowledge of their game and helping them achieve their goals. And we think that's a worthwhile thing to help create a more positive environment. And so my dream is that Training Arc will be able to help the Valorant community even more, as long as people actually want it. I ended up reading $1 Million Weekend, which is Noah Kagan, and he has this big thing in it of testing whether people would ever want to buy what you're selling, rather than building a solution for a problem that no one cares about solving. And I decided to kind of run an experiment for the weekend, which is I was just going to go create a landing page with an outline of what Training Arc is, which is an AI mechanics tool to help you improve at Valorant. And I was like really worried because the whole thing with Noah Kagan's method is you should get 10 sales within a weekend. And I was getting super nervous at this point because I'd spent so much time being excited about what it could be that it was kind of a reckoning at this moment of, well, this is kind of the go, no go. If no one is interested in this, the dream is dead. And then there's the flip side, which is a lot of people sign up and now my life is going to be different forever. And so I remember I went to dinner with my family, and then after dinner I checked my phone and I was looking at the payment links and 14 people had signed up. And I was like, okay, we're doing this. And then 10 more people signed up the next day. So 24 total. That was pretty cool. But then it meant I needed to figure out what was next. That's when I started looking for a developer. We're going to get to a minimally viable product. We're going to get to a product that people can use rather than having smaller projects that no one can use. And that can just prove that I didn't waste my money. And here's the thing, the $100,000, it just got to this MVP. And like, that's what I've spent so far. It doesn't mean we're done. We've got more to do and it's going to cost more. And that's going to be its whole other thing about figuring that out as well, in terms of the new features we want to include and the things that we think need to be part of the software to make it really usable. This MVP will be focusing on gunfight hygiene, whether you're crouch spraying or correctly moving between bursts. That's the goal. So you'll sign into the web app, you're going to download the Windows app, which will upload your games for you. Training Arc will watch the games and then give you feedback on your gunfights. You get a list with good versus bad gunfights, gunfight hygiene wise. And most importantly, we'll have drills so you can improve where you're lacking. Valorant is a fun game when we win, but it's even more fun when you dominate. We want to just dominate our opponents. We want to click their heads. We want to feel like this game was our playground, right? When we play games and we don't get that. You crouch spray and you get one tapped and you don't feel like you got to play the game. We know part of this is technique. What part of your technique is lacking? Where can it improve? And has it improved over time? Training Arc is the solution to that problem. Training Arc is going to watch your games. It's going to understand where you're lacking in terms of technique. It's going to give you feedback on that technique and the drills that you need to make use of so you can improve. And then it's going to track your improvement over time. At the end of the day, it's going to give you clear mechanical feedback on what you need to be doing so you can be dominating your games instead of getting pooped on. If you're interested in Training Arc, you can sign up and get started. Links in the description below. Subscribe to the channel if you want more updates on the journey.